A strong woman's choice. My name is Emily, and I am 28 years old. I am married to Jake, a hardworking and kind man. He is 30 years old, and we have been together for 5 years. Jake is the kind of husband every woman dreams of, caring, loving, and always respectful. He never raises his voice, never gets angry, and never disrespects me. He supports me when I am sick, cooks for me when I am tired, and always listens to me with patience. But despite all his kindness, there is one thing that bothers me: Jake does not earn much. He works in construction, spending long hours under the scorching sun, earning only $2,500 a month. This amount is not enough for us. I, on the other hand, have a stable job, earning $5,000 a month. Although I earn more than him, I cannot help but feel frustrated. I want a better life, a big house, a luxurious car, and financial freedom. I want Jake to be ambitious like other men who provide expensive gifts for their wives, own businesses, and live in grand houses. Every day, I remind him of what we lack. Other husbands do more for their wives, I say. Jake listens quietly, sadness reflecting in his eyes, but he never complains. One day, he comes home late. Concerned, I ask, "Where were you?" "I was looking for another job," he replies. I feel a sense of relief. "Did you find one?" I ask eagerly. "Not yet, but I will keep trying." The next day, Jake wakes up before sunrise and leaves before I even open my eyes. He returns home late, exhausted. His clothes are covered in dust, his face pale with fatigue. "I found a second job at a restaurant," he says. "I'll be working at night and earning $1,500 more." Hearing this, I feel satisfied. "Good job," I say, not realizing the toll it will take on him. For weeks, Jake works endlessly, 2 jobs, no rest, no time for himself. He barely eats, barely sleeps. One night, he stumbles through the door, looking weak. His hands tremble as he tries to sit down. Suddenly, he collapses. "Jake!" I scream, rushing to his side. "I'm just tired," he whispers, his voice barely audible. Terrified, I rush him to the hospital. The doctor examines him and says he is exhausted. His body cannot handle this much work. He needs complete rest. I break down, guilt washing over me. I hold Jake's hand tightly and whisper, "I am so sorry." He smiles weakly and says, "Don't cry, my love. Everything I did was for you." At that moment, I realize something profound. Jake does not need to be rich. He does not need to buy me gold or a luxury car. He has already given me the most precious gift: his love, his care, and his unwavering support. I finally understand that money is important, but love is priceless. Holding his hand, I whisper, "I love you." Jake smiles and replies, "I love you too." From that day forward, I promise myself never to compare Jake to other men. He is enough. He is my everything. Years later. My name is Emily. I am now 35 years old and have been married for 10 years. I have a 9-year-old son. When I married my husband, James, he had nothing: no house, no car, no savings, just a small bag of clothes. but I loved him. I believed in him. Life was difficult. We lived in tiny rented apartments, struggling to make ends meet. I worked tirelessly, never giving up. After years of hard work and dedication, I landed a stable job, earning $7,000 a month. 5 years ago, I bought a house with a loan, then a car. Our life improved, but something else changed. James. James works in construction, just like Jake once did. But unlike Jake, James does not care about me or our son. Some months, he has a job, other months, he earns nothing. When he does have money, he does not save it, he spends it on other women. At home, he is quiet and polite. To outsiders, he appears respectful. But outside our home, he is a different person, one who goes to hotels with other women and wastes our hard-earned money on them. His mother does not support me either. She tells me, "You have a job, you have money, so it's your responsibility to take care of him." She even accuses me of being unfaithful, poisoning my son's mind against me. For years, I endured his neglect, hoping he would change. But 4 months ago, he crossed the final line. He met an older, wealthy woman and left us. Before walking out, he said, "Leave the house if you want. You can bring another man here, I don't care." Now, after months of silence, he wants to return. "I made a mistake," he says. "Please forgive me." But I remember everything. I remember the pain, the betrayal, the nights I cried alone. I remember how I sacrificed, worked hard, and built this life on my own. And I know, I do not need him. I look at my son, his innocent eyes filled with confusion. He needs a father, but does he need this kind of father? I sit alone in my room, thinking deeply. Then, I take a deep breath, stand up, and make my decision. I choose myself. I choose my happiness. A strong woman does not settle for less than she deserves. And today, I choose to be strong. If you enjoyed this story, please like, subscribe, and share.